All right. Anybody that's seen the Final Fantasy sales recently, they will have seen and noticed that Final Fantasy Rebirth, especially in Japan, has sold less than Final Fantasy Remake. And in my opinion, the reason for that is not even though hardware like console sales are selling, except for Nintendo, are less and less. You know, Japan is not really a big console generation except for Nintendo. But besides that, I feel like the brand itself is just falling, and that's because Square Enix, they forgot about their core fan base, trying to reach out to a wider audience. Instead of keeping Final Fantasy turn based, which I feel like is what it should have always been, they should have tried to reinvent or do different things to try to reach a wider audience without forgetting about the core audience. The reason that Final Fantasy was even popular to begin with. Because honestly, as a person who played Final Fantasy Remake, I also didn't buy Rebirth because I didn't like the gameplay. It was, I don't see nothing wrong with action RPG, but I just like, that's not. I'm open to change, but I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like the combat. I thought it was a solid game, but it just wasn't, great. It wasn't a great game, and I feel like with Final Fantasy, people always say those are great games. Not just good, not just solid, but great games. And I feel like if Square Enix really wants to you know, stop the franchise from failing in Japan or losing sales worldwide, because it seems like after every release of a new Final Fantasy, sales go down, sales go down. It's just they need to go back to their core audience, who they forgot about, and is the reason that they were even popular to begin with, and make a traditional JRPG. As far as gameplay, keep the graphics, there are other ways that they can try to reinvent the brand. Try different things, some new things, but stick with the turn based, man. I really miss turn based JRPGs. That's why I love Persona. I haven't played I forgot. I forgot what it's called. That's another turn based game. It's like set in Japan, but that's just my opinion about it. All right, Square Enix needs to go back to the core, to their roots, if they want to stop every Final Fantasy game selling less than the previous one, because that's obviously a trend, and I hope that they see that trend. If they want to make an ARPG, they need to, how you got Final Fantasy Tactics, well, they need to make like a Final Fantasy whatever, so and so for their ARPG franchises that they want to reach the Western audience for, or whatever, or a bigger audience, not even just a bigger audience. So that's just my opinion about it. They're going to keep having in my opinion, unless they change to go back to their roots, every Final Fantasy that comes out will sell less than the next, or it's not going to go higher, in my opinion. So